This module is going to be on one of our strategic partners, in particular Swipely. A strategic partner is typically a non-Media 360 company that has products or services that help us serve our customers better. Typically, although not always, we're compensated for that business we direct to our partners. Some of you may ask why we offer additional services to our clients over and above the advertising that we provide. Studies have shown that if there's more than one product or service that a customer acquires, that they're more likely to remain a client with you. If you think about it, initially acquiring a client is one of the biggest challenges that you have. As we usually find that once a customer is acquired, that providing additional services and products is actually less difficult, and of course it ends up being more profitable as a result. So what does Swipely do? Well, basically they process credit card transactions, but I could argue that that's an everyday transaction. I mean, these businesses get phone calls every day for somebody trying to change over their merchant services account. But what's unique about Swipely is they provide very useful customer analytics. And this is customer analytics that they can't get anyplace else. And this then allows the client, the business, to better manage and optimize their business going forward. They acquire this information from their credit card processing. And then as a result, Media 360 receives a portion of Swipely's revenue as long as that business remains a customer of Swipely. So what are the steps in the process? Well, you set up a phone appointment for the client to hear and see the Swipely presentation. And this will be done over a tablet or a PC. You place that appointment in the Swipely calendar. Swipely handles the presentation over the phone, and we recommend that you're on that call, regardless of how many times that you've heard the presentation in the past. At some point you need to acquire a copy of their monthly statement from their current merchant service processor. And this is to show that they meet the minimums for Swipely. And then ideally Swipely closes the deal for you. And they have a very high closing ratio. The reward to you is that Swipely pays $50 for every qualified phone appointment that's set up, whether they sell it or not. The revenue from the merchant services account is typically around $1,800 a year, and that continues to be paid as long as the business stays on the books. And Media 360 splits that revenue with their franchisee 50-50. So let's look at an example. Let's assume that you set up 2 phone appointments a week. There's 52 weeks in a year, times your 2 appointments, times your $50, that's $5,200. Take that times the 50% split, leaving $2,600. Let's come over to the residual income. Assuming an 80% success rate, you take your 52 weeks times 2 appointments a week, times your average of $1,800, times your 80% success rate, leaves you with just under $150,000, which you then split 50-50. If you annualize that income the first year, that comes out to be just a little over $77,000. The second year, because you have your residual from the first year, gives you $152,000. And by the third year, that increases to over $227,000. Now, of course, this assumes there's no attrition, but that can easily be made up by having 1 extra appointment a month. So let's review the benefits to the client. 98% of the time, there's no additional cost to the client, despite the additional services and the customer analytics. And occasionally, there's even a cost reduction. All the benefits that Swipely provides is done from the processing fee that the customer already pays. So in other words, there's no extra cost for the business getting this extra service. And there's other attributes to the program as well. They have a loyalty program that's built in. They have a whole process that makes it much easier to manage your social media, as well as Swipely handling all the training and service questions for the client. In reference to the benefits for you, there's the potential additional income for you. And oftentimes this is coming with very little effort on your part because you're already there and you're already working with a client. Occasionally we find that it's not unusual for this to even help in a sale. If your original conversation with a client is not resonating with them, then an option is to come back and lead with customer analytics. We've actually had a number of scenarios where this has caused the sale to take place. So please refer to the guidebook for additional information on their training videos as well as how to use their calendar. And wrapping things up on Swipely, there is no requirement that you use their services. But quite frankly, we think you're going to find it helpful, not to mention the benefits of an additional revenue source for you. Best of luck.